Okay, great. So now this is great. Now I can see your questions there, and what I'm going to do is quickly log out of Skype and then log back in. So file, sign out. Okay, so what I want to do now is get to a main lesson because Dee's question about gathering clients particularly dovetails well into this. Let's see. All right, and hopefully that gets me in. Great. Okay, so in a few seconds, it'll take a little while because it'll populate a bunch of spam for the NHB group, but in a few seconds, I'll be able to additionally see your questions and so forth. And again, I apologize for any confusion, so forth. And Martin, while you're at it, could you quickly check and see if anyone's having any problems in the Facebook group with getting in or any confusion or whatever? Okay, so here's the main question, or here's like the main lesson, the main reason why I kind of held my breath and jumped up and down about having everyone attend today. And this is how many people here, you can say it in, it'll actually be particularly easier for me if you type this in to go to webinar. It's like a little bit easier for me to see that right now. Can you type in to go to webinar in the questions box if you have ever heard me talk about doing face-to-face sales? So type in the question box if you've ever heard me talk about face-to-face sales. I think a lot of people may not have. Okay, D, you have heard me. Gary says, I think so. Dafford says yes. Alan says yes. Mark, a little bit. Steven Saunders, yes, I have. Susan, yes. David, no. Fran, no. Okay, looks like it's about 50-50. About 50-50. Okay, so what I mean by face-to-face sales, and if I'm like beating a dead horse a little bit on this, I think it's valuable for me to do it anyways. I first really noticed this concept in mine and David's first information marketing business. But this is going to be very critical, not just for making client sales, not just for making affiliate sales or sales of your own product, but this concept is also critical for understanding and being successful with SEO. Okay, so this is a big concept, and I've never explained it quite like I am today. I'm going to begin explaining it like I have in the past, but I'm going to go much deeper into it right now. So what happened was David and we had this business where we were teaching people Magic the Gathering. So that's what we were doing. We were teaching Magic the Gathering, which is a collectible card game. And we would make videos for people, like picture-in-picture videos. And we had a couple training guides, basically one training guide, actually. So if I go to youtube.com/video music showcase, and I can show you like a couple of my really old videos. So let's see, browse videos. So if I go to some of the older videos, then right here, for example, you see this is, by the way, one of my very first picture-in-picture videos. Okay, and this is a video of me playing Magic the Gathering, like talking about a deck, and then you can kind of see my picture. So this was actually one of the first times the picture-in-picture technology was possible. So we had this business, and what we'd have to do is where I am right now, what you see on this screen in the background, what you see like actually on my screen is I'm logged into Magic the Gathering online, because Magic can be played both as a physical in-person sport and it can be played online. So I can just quickly, here, I'll show you a quick video of Mike Long MTV. So this is a video of me playing on MTV, like I don't know, I don't even know what year this is, like probably 1998 or something like that. This is sort of what it looks like. And you'll be able to see it in just a second. Okay, so it can both be played as a physical game like I'm playing right here. I'm on the left. Or it can be played as an online game. And what I would do, like what David and I would have to do is we'd play the online game and we'd use Camtasia to make video recordings of us playing the game, which is what I'm doing right here. So in this video that I was showing you, I'm in the online environment, playing, in the online environment. So I'm logged into Magic Online. The reason this is important is what would happen is while I was playing, I had a little profile, and my profile would say, hey, I sell a product called Magic Secrets, and if you want to know more about it, ask me. Now, it may seem far-fetched to you that that was a very important part of our marketing, because ultimately we had hundreds and hundreds of customers, maybe 1,000 or more. I don't know exactly how many customers we wound up having, but a lot. And what we noticed was when I paid particular attention to, like when I would beat somebody and they'd say, wow, that's a really cool deck, how do I find out about it? I would tell them about our product and I would try to sell it to them right then and there, okay? And that may sound uncomfortable. It may sound kind of far-fetched, but what we noticed is that when I did that effectively, if I made, let's say, a sale in a given week, then our overall sales, if I made like 1 or 2 sales in Magic Online in a given week, then our overall sales of our product would skyrocket for that week, would like double or triple, right? So instead of making 10 sales, we might make 20 sales. Or instead of making 20, we might make 40. Now, what I would like to have you do is give me a few guesses as to why it is that we think that that happens. Why is it that me making these quote unquote face-to-face sales of people while I was playing in Magic Online, what are some of the reasons why you think that that would be effective? And I'm going to explain what this has to do with answering Dee's question and so on. Brett says it's personal. I'm now able to look in the Skype box. So you can answer me in Skype or you can answer me in GoToWebinar. Probably at this point, switching over to Skype is better because everyone can see your answers. Does anyone else has some guesses? Carl says word of mouth advertising. Okay. David says word of mouth. Fran says put a face on the product sale. Now, Jolene, you said trust actor. What do you mean by that? Josh says confidence. That's a good one. Demonstrated result. Okay. Al says demonstrated result. Jolene says trust factor. Oh, factor, trust factor. Okay, great. Here's what I think it boils down to. And I think you guys have heard me say this. I would like everyone to type this in here. Let's see, could other people hear? Great. Hey, Tony, great point. And Tony's great at this, okay? Tony's really great at making sales. Tony says, could other people hear me pitch it? Yes, they could. Yes, they could. Very smart, very true. Yes, they could hear me pitch it, because what could happen is people could watch your games. So we could have several people watch, and I had forgotten about that, Tony, until you brought that up. So that's great. That's great, and that definitely matters. So let me type in kind of a little bit of a mantra, but I think it's really valuable. People respect what you inspect, especially you. Okay, I'm typing that in. I would like every last person who's on to type this in. And if you have your pen and paper at home, which you should, please write this down. This is, I've talked about this before, but if you get nothing else from NHB but understanding this concept, you win, and you win big time. Okay, Alan's typed it in. People respect what you inspect. Steven, I think Steven copied me. Steven, did you copy and paste me? Steven. Character. Gary typed it in. Jolene typed it in. Carl typed it in. Great. People started typing. I would really like, we have dozens of people on, so I'd love to see everybody type it in. It's really, really critical and really valuable. What I'd also like is for you to type in what you think when I say that. When you like, and by the way, this is why I'm asking you to type this in. It is because I want you to see you typing this in, right? Wes, ditto means nothing. You got to type the whole thing in. People respect what you. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I would like you to. I would like you to type it in. So why do I think that this is so important? And I'd like to kind of hear your guesses on that. Oh, on the move, yeah, definitely don't get hurt or get in an accident. D says, my son's recently got Insight 2. He's 12 and he has site number 2 in Google for a term that gets 2,900. That's wonderful. Yeah, by the way, D, you can use that as part of it, as another one of your model homes. Okay, Josh says it shows you truly care. That is one of the most critical factors, Josh. That's absolutely most. It also shows you that you care. Extrapolation is such a powerful concept. Okay, it's such a powerful concept. Um, Once you start doing something, once you start working out, you see yourself working out, it becomes easier to work out. D, you have an identity now as someone who can rank websites. You can come live and respond to that. D, is it true now that when you wake up, you see yourself as that, don't you?
True. I've certainly gained a lot in confidence by ranking these couple of sites.
Well, and here's the funny thing is that almost all of the evidence in your life, what are you? You sound like you're about 19 years old. Is that right?
My son, he's 12.
Oh yeah, but you're 19. Is that correct? Because you adopted.
Just going on 22.
Just going on 22. My fault. I'm sorry. You sound young for your age. Okay, great. So the thing is, you have 21 years of evidence that you're incompetent at ranking websites. Is that correct?
That's true.
So it's almost irrational that you have so much confidence because you have example after example after example of day after day for years, for 2 decades, where you couldn't rank a website, and yet now we all know here, everyone knows here, that you have proper confidence that you can. Are you kind of seeing a little bit what I'm saying here?
I'm just seeing. I think what you're trying to say is that once you succeed in something once or twice, you can get confidence fairly quickly, regardless of what's happened before or not.
Well, and it's mostly because our mind is watching ourselves. And as we watch ourselves, whatever we last did, it just makes sense to us that that's who we are. Like, so if I see myself pumping iron and lifting weights, then I start to gain an identity as somebody who lifts weights. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And likewise, if I see myself, I used to be a Division I college wrestler. And I really thought of myself as a college wrestler. Now I don't, right? Because I don't do it. My point is, people respect what you inspect, and you are a people. You are the people who sees you the most. Does anybody see you more than you, D?
Of course not.
Yeah. And it's not, and this is a real confidence. Like what I'm talking about, this is not like some foo-foo thing. Like this is a real powerful reality when it comes to success. So what I'm doing when I'm doing face-to-face sales is I am showing myself that I care about sales. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And what that does is now when I'm sending out an email dispatch to my list, right, I have something to say. I've answered a few people's questions. I'm in the flow of that sales conversation. Okay? So now what's the next step for you, D, is to be, first of all, going through more and more of our training. We have so much good training on client acquisition. D, have you already watched Trish and Andrew's terrific video in NHB on client acquisition?
No, where is that? Is it in lesson 1?
Let's go through that. Oops. Shoot. What am I doing? Oh, not hogmail.com. It's funny. Okay, great. All right. So I'm logged in here now to NHB. Can everyone see this?
Yep.
So where is it? NHB home. Oh, this is so exciting. And y'all, if you haven't seen this yet, what a treasure. How many people have watched these? This is me with Rich L. $28,000 collected in his first 30 days with OMG. Really killer stuff. Both making money offline. And Josh says many times over, by the way. That's wonderful. Both offline and with affiliate stuff. And boy, talk about a treasure with Trish and Andrew. And I gained so much from this event with Trish and Andrew. They have so much belief in themselves that they should be the ones servicing clients. D, this is a treasure trove for you. And you know, being there with Trish and hearing her talk and Andrew, it's a treasure. Okay, treasure on client acquisition. And then a couple great videos here with Brian H as well, Brian Halliday. Okay, now if you have Commission Conspiracy, there's also just just wonderful videos on client acquisition with Joe Marfolio and with Gary Kuish. Wow, awesome stuff. Fletch, awesome. David Hood, awesome. Just video after video. These are people in the trenches. They're giving you their examples. Also, inside of Commission Conspiracy, the part 2 of the Commission Conspiracy ebook, I wrote excellent stuff on client acquisition in there as well. Now, let me check Skype and see what people are saying to me. Carl says, I saw that one. Josh says they do have tons of confidence when they talk about their SEO business. They do, Josh. He's talking about Trish and Andrew. That's absolutely true, okay? But they didn't used to, okay? They didn't used to. And, Carl said something wonderful. Confidence is like laughter. It's contagious, okay? I want to talk for a second. Martin, are you still there?
Hey, Mike, yeah.
I want to talk about your confidence with SEO. Where were you when you were like getting started a few years back? You bought an introductory SEO course from me a couple years back, and you're just learning the ropes and so forth. But if you compare those early days, even when you could rank a site or two, and where you're at now, you really see yourself as a different person.
Yeah, night and day, actually. I mean, it didn't even seem conceivable. It was actually not even, it was just like a year and a half ago, or maybe coming up on 2 years, but yeah, it was sort of like a mystery. I don't know, it just didn't seem
And you're not
possible.
a big confidence guy. Like, one of the things that people should know, the first time I brought you live on a webinar, you freaked out. Is that true?
My voice, I couldn't really speak very well. I got too nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's your base level of confidence with things. Like, different people have different skills. And would you say that throughout your life, like, big time confidence has not always been, especially when it comes to like SEO and stuff like that, it wasn't really you?
Yeah, I definitely have not been Mr. Confident in my life. No, not at all.
Okay, but at this point, you're a confident man in your place in the world. Is that correct?
Definitely with SEO, yeah, I am confident with that. And a few things, yeah. My confidence has grown.
All right, awesome. And would you say that your confidence grew, like, it didn't grow by some mantra? Your confidence grew by watching yourself kick butt in SEO. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Just like you said something like my mind watching me do something.
Yeah.
Like literally, I never really thought of it that way, but just like that. Like really, like not theory, actually seeing stuff happen and over time. Yeah.
Great. Now, with Martin, I'm going to preview something. It's actually very special that Martin came live for this event. Martin's a real secret weapon of ours. Martin, may I go over to the mysterymethod.net? Can you preview a little bit of what you're doing over there for folks?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to bridge this concept over, and I'm going to widen it up to SEO. And I'm really going to explain this. This is a very important, powerful concept. People respect what you inspect, especially you. Face-to-face sales. Another angle on this is, and this was a profound concept that I realized in SEO. This is the underlying concept that allowed me to invent one article to rule them all. And the concept is that SEO is one link at a time, one sentence at a time. Okay? So one link at a time. And Martin, you've heard me talk about this. Is that correct?
I have,
Okay.
yeah.
This is profoundly important to me people think that SEO is all this frenetic activity, thousands of links here and there, and it's all confusing and so hard to understand and all this. It is not, okay? SEO boils down to one link at a time, one sentence at a time, quality, okay? And more this is becoming true. This is one of the reasons why Area 51 Lifestyle sailed through the Penguin and Panda updates with no problems, is I built it one link at a time. And one of the things that I did, Martin's going to show you a little bit what we're doing on page with this site. One of the big reasons that this website ranks, let me type in relationship advice. I don't even know if this site ranks anymore. But this really gave me a big boost. I don't think it is on page 1. I think it ranks for different stuff now. It might be relationship advice or relationship tips. But there was a site called, I think it was called relationship-advice.com or something like that. But anyways, what I did was I went through all of the sites that rank for relationship advice. I'm kind of curious if I put like maybe a hyphen in. It might be like relationship tips. It might be instead. But let me just have a look. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. But anyways, I found a site. The site was a PR5. And what I really did was just everyone who is ranking for relationship advice, I emailed them and I asked them if I could write an article for them. And this is back in 2009. And what is this? It's face-to-face sales, right? I just simply asked them, can I write an article for you and get a link back to my site? And this guy bid. And he sent several links to the mysterymethod.net with the link text mystery method. And that skyrocketed my rankings, okay? And it's one link at a time, and you might say, oh, I don't have time for that. But this is the shortcut. I'm showing you the shortcut. And it's very similar to like doing face-to-face sales. So Martin, can you walk people through? I called you up late the other night, and can you walk people through what I asked you and what you started to do with the mysterymethod.net?
Yeah. Are you curious to know some of the terms you rank for? I actually see some of the ones.
I am.
They're pretty crazy. I don't know, because you were just looking for one, and there's a lot more than that for your site.
So let's. No, I actually wasn't looking for my site. I was looking for an old site. I actually was not at all looking for, but that's fine. So let me go to Google and make sure that I'm logged out. Personal results. Okay, I'm logged out. All right, Martin. Give me some terms.
Magic of making up. I don't think it's too old, but I think that should be around page 3. But that has 3,600 searches.
And this is a product. This is a product by my friend Travis Sago. And it's something that sold over 100,000 copies. So people really search for this. All right, so let's see, page 2.
I should probably just pick a couple because you have a lot of these.
I don't think I see them on page 3. I wonder if I blew past it. Oh, here we are.
More.
So I'm at the top of page 4. Now let's show everybody when we started working on this site. Where is? Here we go. Okay, so I'm clicking in on the Magic of Making Up review. Oh, look at this. I have a broken image link here. No, I don't. Okay, good. Okay, this. What day did I do this? Guys, I did this last week. It's not showing because it's a page, not a post. But I put this up last week. So in less than a week, we're on page 4, at the top of page 4 for Magic of Making Up. We will wind up at number 1. All right. Now
just one more good example, because you've got about probably 30, so that's probably too much. But another one that you have is Neil Strauss. It gets like 10,000 searches.
This gets to 10,000 exact match searches a month. Actually, 27,000 exact match searches a month. Oh my gosh, I'm on page 1.
Are you?
I am.
It looked like it was number 11 or so, but
okay, great. Well, that might somehow be cached. But anyways, this is extraordinary. This is a big search term, and it's an authority search term. Like, this is the author of the game, which is sort of the quintessential book in this market. So we just started trying to link for this last week, and now a post I wrote all the way back on April 10th is ranked on. It looks on page like it's on page 1 and maybe on page 2. What are some other search terms?
Let's see here. Venusian arts. It looks like it should be around number 20.
That's crazy.
VNU. You know what that is?
Yeah, we just started trying to rank for this last week. Yeah, there we are, bottom of page 2. Just started trying to rank for this last week. This is on a brand new post. This is on, and this is a really smart move by Greg. And everyone, you're seeing this like very early. This is just getting started. Pickup artists. Now, here's the thing. This pickup artist and PUA techniques. Pickup artists, 18,000 exact match searches per month. PUA, 60,000 exact match searches per month.
It looks like you're already ranking for one of the related terms of actual pickup artist. The way it's pickup, like altogether one term, one word, P-I-C-K-U-P, artist. It looks like it should be on page 4 already. But sometimes a new term that you go for can move around a little bit. But it should be maybe even closer because the other one was saying page 4.
On page 3. And we track this stuff, but
crazy,
but by the way, D, not to beat a dead horse, but can you see how we really care about our rankings? There it is. Yep, already on page 4. That's awesome.
Wow.
I think Greg said that we're on there somewhere for relationship advice for women.
Let's see. Relationship advice for women. You should be on page 4. Actually, relationship advice for men, page 3 possibly.
Here we are on page 4.
I'm saying possibly because I know.
And Martin, these things keep moving up. Is that correct? They it's not like this is it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you have Greg giving it attention, so I think you can be confident about that.
And we have you too, which is pretty exciting. Yeah. So we'll get into that in a second. Okay, so here's another one. Yeah, page 3 for relationship advice for men. Okay, and eventually we're gonna crack. We'll probably wind up like even number 1 for relationship advice. So let's talk a little bit about the on-page structure here. So Martin, I called Martin the other night and I asked Martin if he would do his ninja interlinking on this site. Well, we've been talking about turbocharge when I was talking about OMG BIB and Martin's turbocharge techniques for on-page stuff that he learned from Greg, and he's really become a world master at. Martin, can you walk us through like 1 or 2 of the changes that you've made on this site? And this is exciting. This is brand new for you guys. If you haven't done this stuff, I think that this is exciting, and this is one link at a time, face-to-face sales style. I want to see if people are kind of starting to get this attention to small details. I know we have we had particularly a couple of Christian posts in the Facebook group leading up to this event, Christian bookstore, and Stephen Saunders was on this event and so forth. There's a parable that Jesus tells. I think it's in Matthew somewhere, and it's a parable of the gold talents where Jesus leaves. The Lord goes away. He leaves an investment. It's a story. He leaves an investment of 1 gold coin with his 3 stewards. He leaves. He comes back, demands an accounting. The first one says, "I went to the markets. I traded. Now I have 10 gold coins." And the Lord says, "You've been faithful over a little. Now I'm going to grant you authority over much. You now have authority over 10 cities." And which is extraordinary, right? You go from 10 gold coins to authority over 10 cities. It's not to scale, right? It's amplified to quite a ridiculous extent. Likewise, the second steward, 1 gold coin. Now he has 5 gold coins, and then he gains authority over 5 cities. The third one buried the gold coin in the backyard, hit a blind eye to it, and he says, "I was afraid." I knew you were a harsh master and you would demand your usury, your interest. And so I buried it. I was afraid of losing the investment. And I know we have a couple Christians on, so maybe some people know the answer to this. Maybe some people don't. But what he ends up saying is, you've been wicked to that third steward. And he snatches the gold coin from him. The Lord does. He snatches the gold coin and he gives it to the one with 10 gold coins. And he says, "He who hath little, that little shall be taken from him. And he who hath much, that much more shall be added to him." And I find this to be a powerful business lesson and a powerful life lesson. If we're faithful over a little, the results are exaggerated. Martin, you're telling me some of these changes took you like 30 minutes to make a change on a page. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. I started on the second post, I believe, part 2 of Mystery Debrief.
Okay, I'm clicking in on that.
What I do is I'll read the whole page through,
Okay.
which was actually kind of interesting. You're kind of pulling me in with your content there.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Um,
Oh, and
and
everyone, just so everyone knows, I wrote all of the content on this site, all of it myself personally. Go ahead, Martin.
basically, it's pretty logical. Just like Greg talks about natural stuff, I don't try to force anything. Um, it's just what flows naturally. One page might have one piece of relevance, like one keyword that relates to another part of the site. One might have 10. And so this one particularly, um, if you go, you already had the 2 links up top. What I did on the page, on this page, is just add links. And you had Area 51 lifestyle and click here already there. Then in
Okay.
the next sentence it says, today we're going to go to part 2 of the video I shared in my last post, and I linked to your last post.
So I'll click on
And
that.
something I learned from David Mills is it should, I believe, open in a new window.
It does. So
Does it do that?
target equals blank. Yeah, David's a really big believer in that. That's especially important when you have a page that has a video on it, or like a webinar, or you're going to an order page, because otherwise it's very disorienting to people and you'll lose them. All right, so that's great.
There's actually a, for anyone that doesn't know how to do that, when you edit inside of WordPress, when you're in the visual tab, um, you click over, you just highlight the phrase, and then in the WordPress dashboard, you see the little link thing, and you click on that, and then it'll give you a checkbox in that option to open in a new window, and you check that box, and then that'll do that.
Okay, and
Um,
I'm typing in the correct.
oh, the HTML too, awesome.
Yeah, I'm typing. All right.
I actually don't know the HTML.
That's so cute. And you're this on-page expert. So funny. This is the correct HTML. Target equals underscore blank, and that'll open the screen that way.
I pretty much always do that now because it's just going to open one more window in a site and keep the other one open and longer time on site, which seems important.
Yeah, I
More
love that.
important.
I love that. That's great. Okay, so now you linked to the last post, and then what else did you do?
Yep. And then I went down and I just read through, and I could force things, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to keep it natural. So you had mysteries with an apostrophe S, which is a little variation of the anchor text of mystery method. So I linked that directly to your home URL link.
There it is.
Nice diversity, mysteries with an apostrophe S. I'm
Okay.
always keeping that in mind. Then the next one, you had David Copperfield, and I knew he's really well known, so I did his actual site.
Nice.
Just a nice authority site.
Yep.
Um, then I read down a little further on your post, and it's approaching women. I thought that's probably a term you might want. I'm sure that girls and women and all those are synonyms. And you had one up top in your relationship advice tab, I believe,
Yeah, relationship
which
advice
was
for women, right here.
for men. And I did that, and I know that not every man is after women, but I think the general gist is in this context is relationship tips for men seeking women, so because obviously someone, but so I used that anchor text for relationship advice for men, and I actually read through to make sure that there was a bit of about approaching women, not just once you're in a relationship, and so I did that one, and that's the kind of extra thought, like I sort of think Google actually takes that into consideration if your links actually make sense. Um,
I love this.
so then the next one that I did, there's a couple more. Pickup artist. I did that
Maybe we should
directly
get
to
rid of
your.
this. Maybe we should get rid of this apostrophe because we want pick space up space artist, don't we?
I actually uh, often leave all the variations. I'll do another one without it if you
Love
have
it.
it.
Love it.
And that adds that anchor text diversity that is so important. And so that goes right to you have sort of a silo that you started building on pickup artists.
Yeah, this is a little. This is like
Sort
a
of a
little mini silo. We have a little mini silo
yep.
here for pickup artists, and we have a little mini silo for relationship advice. The relationship advice actually has a full mini silo where it's got relationship advice, online dating tips, relationship advice for men, relationship advice for women.
And it looked like on those you actually connected them to the actual page so that relationship advice shows up in the permalink, right?
I
Because I have that with
did.
some gold, and you do that by inside the dashboard. You when you create a page, you can over on the right make it a parent page,
I
and
did.
that's how you set that up. If anyone doesn't know, because I noticed you did that, and I've done that for certain search terms. Those little tiny details. And I think there's about 2 more links.
Here, let me show everybody what that looks like. So where's that? That's the page structure. So I go to pages.
Yeah, it shows up right in the dashboard. You can see where they're indented with the little dash in front of them.
So it's right here. So pickup artists, I started on this thing, and this is how we picked up Venetian arts. And then relationship advice has these child pages here. So if I click in on online dating tips,
It'll
it
show the
says
permalink with
parent is relationship advice. Okay. And then what I did to build out the silo, just to really do it ghetto style really fast, I just put relationship advice for men, relationship advice for women, and then the permalink will take them back to relationship advice.
That's awesome. I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
It reminds me, Greg talks about look at sites like Wikipedia and about.com for how they do it, and they always put like related pages, links like that. That's just like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's just to complete the silo process. So you want the silo always to reference itself and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. All right, so let's jump back to that.
Yeah, this is just one page, so as I told you ahead, I will probably do a page every day or so, so it's not, because I'm essentially building backlinks to the site, and if I did all, whatever, 20 pages in one day, it would be like you just hammered it with 100 PR3 backlinks.
Right.
And so then the next one, I saw we'll talk about that in our next post, so I linked that to the next post, just a simple one more anchor text.
And David asked a really important question. Can you see? Oh, you can't see it in Skype. David said, do the drop-down menus bleed PageRank?
As in on your front page, the
Yeah.
way you have it?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you for sure, but my guess is that it would only help.
Yeah, David, like the more that we're making our site usable, and here's the other thing is, we're so far ahead with the way we're doing things. It's sort of like theoretically linking out to David Copperfield, right? Like we did right here. Mike says, I think Greg said not to do that, and maybe I'll change it up, and that's fair enough. But I got to tell you, these details don't tend to matter. Like a great example is with the outbound authority link. Yeah, theoretically, we're giving David Copperfield and bleeding PageRank out to him, but we know that now our site like looks natural, right? So it's really fine. Like this site ranks like a champ. Like it really, this site just ranks like crazy. It's on page 1 for Dow Badass, the Dow Badass, Neil Strauss, Mystery Method, the Mystery Method. And the funny thing is, like really while we were building out OMG, I just completely wasn't paying attention to this site at all. Like, I mean, like for the last 6 months, it's really only been, Martin, how long have we been working on this hard? Like the last month?
This site here?
Yeah.
Oh, just within the last week.
Yeah, I mean, really in terms
you
of
asked
like,
me Saturday, and I didn't even get to it for like 3 days, and so maybe like 4 or 5 days ago I started.
yeah. So don't tend to get paralyzed by that stuff. It might be like a little bit worse, but really weirdly, who cares? Like we're already so far ahead that it just hardly matters.
I've seen endless results from it too, from the on-page stuff. That it's like sometimes when you do like a bunch of stuff to a site, whether it's start backlinking campaigns or start on-page, you might actually lose a little rank at first, but over the long term, it's definitely like it comes out in the end. You know?
Yeah. So this one's the next post. So this is, you link it to post number 3 here. Okay. And then here I had this before, which is just to go to Area 51 Lifestyle to opt in for
and
the
maybe
list.
I wanted to ask you, I wasn't going to change this without asking you, but do you want me to bold those or the ones that are actual, like the click here and then up
Yeah, I
top
like
with
that.
Area 51?
I like that. Yeah, that sounds really good to me,
I was
actually.
thinking that. And the other one last thing with that David Copperfield link is, in my opinion, it's not not competition for you. I wouldn't link to something like Neil Strauss's site if it wasn't part of
Right.
your sites.
Right.
So I don't like
Yeah,
somebody
that
could
makes a lot
go,
of
Who is
sense.
that magician guy? And they
Yeah,
look and go,
that's
oh yeah, it is. And
yeah,
oh,
exactly. Yeah,
and
exactly.
then it'll be like that's kind of. I
So,
always
so
think of that though.
so what we're getting at here, and I want to kind of wrap things up with this particular lesson, this particular thing that I'm teaching right now. Um, uh, in particular, um, this one link at a time. People respect what you inspect, one move at a time. And this goes back to the model homes, like building yourself a model home, then marketing that model home, getting in the practice, D, of showing people your model home. Show it to everybody. Everybody who will listen, show your model home, and you can also show some of our model homes if that helps build you confidence, right? And you can say, "Wow, I like." Uh, for that matter, my 12-year-old son, this is his site, and he did it. So like I know this so well that I can even teach it to my son at this point. I really have a degree of mastery. Um, David said, "What was Martin saying about bolding?" I'll show you how that works.
Hey Mike, do you want an example of a site that is unusually highly ranked for a competitive industry with no backlinks, just from interpage linking?
Yeah.
Um, if you search the term Quincy, Quincy, and this isn't monetized, it's just like a fun site because I filed bankruptcy in Quincy. No, search it in Google.
I am. Oh, sorry. I am. This is
Okay.
okay. Oh, wait, I'm logged in here. Let me just go here.
But this even surprised me. This is one of the cases with patients where I mean, the site's probably 8 months old, so it did take some time, but I just let it sit.
This is you, right? QuincyBackroomPaternity.com.
Yeah.
So he's number one. People are bidding on it. He's over top of all the local 7. 0 backlinks. So as we look at this site, it's just going to be interlinking.
Yeah.
Right here, looking at your credit, improve your credit, hiring an attorney, assistance of a qualified attorney. It's just going to be opening up
And I
interlinking
actually
pages.
worked at a law firm. I spoke with the director of finance, and we're talking a big law firm,
Bankruptcy
powerful law firm.
attorney.
And so I have experience with this. Actually, 10, 15 years ago, I actually did it with, and my personal attorney wasn't really interested, but that's okay. I'll just leave it with the contact page. And
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, great. So that we really want you to understand that this turbocharging concept that's on page, I think is particularly valuable. But this all boils down to this quality over quantity mindset, where we want to show ourselves making quality moves, and that's really what's going to zoom us ahead. Now, I'm going to be adding a couple of videos on Magic Submitter, and I want to kind of close out by saying this. I had wanted to get to email marketing and a couple site reviews. What I'm going to do, since this was kind of a special week and things got like a little bit busy, is I may include just some bonus notes in the Facebook group this week. I'm working with Stephen Saunders on an email marketing campaign. I'm particularly excited about sinking my teeth into that. But yeah, we get to these things over time, and I want to have a look at that Christian bookstore site. I'm excited to talk about that. But here's what I did. I talked to Greg, and Greg wanted me to talk to James about harvesting sites to post on using Magic Submitter. So I did that, and I sat down with James, and I recorded some videos. And what you can do using Magic, it's particularly good using Magic, because Magic will also see if you can auto post to these sites. Um, like for example, we found I think it was like 2 PR2 and 1 PR3. It might have been no PR3s, but maybe like 1 PR1, 2 PR2s, something like that. That had all in title, either relationship advice, dating tips, PUA, or pickup artist. Okay, so in the title of the website, it had one of those names, and it was like a PR2 blog. So I got a link from that. right? Likewise, we were thinking about something for gold, so we typed finance, all in URL finance. So a site that has finance in the URL, and I'll send you a video so you can see this. I'm just giving you a sneak preview right now. And we found 2 PR4s. Martin, we found 2 PR4s that had the search term finance in the URL that we could then backlink to our gold sites.
That's crazy.
And the reason I bring this up is what we're finding with Magic is setting up our profiles, really understanding one article to rule them all, right? Which is really critical. Like we just, you know, any NHBer who hasn't gone through this, really critical. Where was I logged into? OMG machines. If I go to NHB home, oh goodness sakes. Then I believe it's lesson 1. Yeah, all about articles. If you haven't watched these are so important. One article rule them all. These videos here, make sure to watch them. Also in your OMG machines members area, just the shortcut members area, I have extensive videos on one article to rule them all. Please watch those as they're so important on how to properly do spinning and so forth. And what we're doing with Magic is we're making sure that we're not just posting to any old site that everyone else is posting to on Magic. What we want to do is we want to be posting to different sites that are higher PR, that are in our niche, okay? And then we want our profiles to likewise do the same. So if I click into Magic training, this is where this lesson will land. So Greg just put these in for Magic right here. Magic submitter master file setup. And this has to do with making it so your accounts that you're registering, if it's for weightlifting, is like, you know, Jenny runs 123, Tom swim 567, Martin bodybuilder 553 MA for Massachusetts, whatever. So it's contextual. And in the same way with this harvesting video that I'm giving you, you're going to be able to make your own custom set of sites that you're posting to that other people are not posting to, that not only have higher PR, and James showed me some crazy stuff in those videos. He has dozens of PR6 sites that he's posting to that nobody else is posting to, and they're contextual. Martin, contextual PR6 links.
That's just so powerful. I've actually seen there's some gold work that we did for some of those really competitive terms in just a couple links, and it's just amazing the results that really powerful links give.
Really powerful, really powerful. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through questions, and then we'll wrap things up. Mark says, look like Socrates. For Quincy, is that Socrates, Martin? It is, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's Socrates, yeah. Guys, I think I'm going to be putting Catalyst Tuscan on the mysterymethod.net, just to let you know where I'm kind of going with that. Everyone, I just, you know, I want to tell you, this has been like a very special week for me. We went a tiny bit, we started a tiny bit earlier than I anticipated, and we went a tiny bit longer than I was expecting. But I want to thank everyone for attending this event. Would you please type in a Skype if you found this to be valuable? Like if you got like an aha moment or two. This idea is doing face-to-face sales one link at a time, seeing SEO one link at a time, seeing customer sales one link at a time, one approach at a time. Okay, one link at a time, one approach at a time. Showing somebody your model home, getting a website ranked, getting started. Okay, people respect what you inspect, especially you. And I'm getting lots of thank yous. I really appreciate these. These are very, very important to me. Now, what I would like to ask everyone here, this is something that especially particularly motivates me. And I'll just tell you this, it makes me want to work harder. I'd like everyone to go over here and everyone to post. I really would. I'm going to omgmachines.com/blog/NHB. And I know that many people here, probably most people here, have already posted at least once. I'd like every person here to make at least one, to make one new post on here with just about something that you learned in the last week or two from your NHB experience. Something that you found, maybe you got a website ranked #1. Maybe you had an aha moment. Maybe you made a sale. Adam Dare really blew my mind. He's up to $20,000. He started on his iPhone. Now he's up to $20,000. I talked to Johnson earlier today. Johnson's just eating up Jason Calori's content with a spoon. I'd really like every single person who's on this event, including you, Martin. I would like every single person who's on this event to post preferably a Facebook comment. But if not a Facebook comment, then certainly you can post a regular comment here. And it means so much to me and Greg. Every time, to me, Greg and David Mills, every time we get a new comment on this blog, we all talk about it and we all celebrate it. That's a particular advancement for us. That's a particular thing that motivates us. So I'm putting it in your chat window in Skype or in Facebook, and I would love to see it. It's important to me. I check this every single day. The fact that we have so many comments, by the way, NHB isn't that big of a program, but to already have over 50 comments on here, we're so proud of it. And it's, again, this is the one call to action I have for you. The one thing you can do, it makes a huge, huge difference for me and for Greg and for David Mills, is posting here. So I really appreciate your valuable time on this event. I appreciate you coming on it. If anybody had a question that didn't get answered on this event, they'd really like me to go more in depth, omg@omgmachines.com is where to mail me. And I'd love to hear from you. And I'll be back in 2 weeks. And I think this time I'm bringing Jason Calori with me. And I'll also be working on Stephen Saunders' email. I'm going to try to take a look at that Christian book sites as well. So I want to just, from the bottom of my heart, thank every single individual for this event. I want to thank you for all the thank yous that we've gotten in, and all the kind comments and so forth. And again, if you get the opportunity to come in here and you post a fresh comment on the blog, would just be all appreciation. Really, really appreciate that. It's very, very important to us. And thank you for all the people saying that this was valuable. This was extremely valuable to me. Tony, you're most welcome. Brett, you're most welcome. Jack, you're welcome. Susan, welcome. Josh, you're welcome. Mike, oh, that's wonderful. I'm looking at one of my sites now because of what I learned today. I love that. Jenna, love this webinar. Great. Kristen, great. Thanks. Stephen, good stuff. Arthur, thanks, Mike and Martin. Fran, good stuff, Mike. It was great as always, Mike. Carl, thank you so much, Carl. Josh said extremely valuable. D, thanks a lot, Mike. Tim Edwards, cool. I really appreciate that. And we also have a number of comments that came in super valuable from Jolene. Definitely got some value from Gary. So really appreciate that. Martin, one quick last question for Jolene. She said more than 2 links per page. Barry, you can put more than 2 links per page. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got some pages. I put really as many as will naturally flow with it. I've got some with a lot of links on them, and some with none.
Great, I love that. A very, very, very valuable tip for the end. And Jack, can I email you a personal message? You can, Jack. Email me at omg@omgmachines.com or hit me up on Facebook. Josh says, you're the man, Mike. Have a great weekend. Martin and Mike, fellow NHBers, thank you so much. Really appreciate that, Josh. Got 3 more people typing in, so I'm not going to leave before I see what they say. Yep, Mike says that's what I'm looking at. I'm adding more inner links. Great. Love it.
Yeah, I've seen that make quite a difference with sites. With nothing else, I've got lots of gold sites that rank #1.
With no links. Yeah. Jack says, thanks a lot. You're genuine. I like to think so, Jack. I really appreciate you saying that, though. I'm just waiting for these last couple messages to trickle in.
Some people said thanks to me, too, and it's really an honor. I've seen NHB members are just badass.
Oh, they are. It really is wonderful. And Martin, could you make sure to save this recording and send it over to me?
Yeah, is there anything I need to know about that? I want to make sure. Somebody asked on Facebook.
Yeah, it'll just save. So you'll click end the webinar, and then it'll say, do you want to save your video now? And it'll just start saving. So just don't turn off that computer. Just let it go.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so. I'll just, when I close it, I'll find out, and I'll call you if there's any question, just because I want to make sure I get
Yeah,
it
and it takes a
saved.
while. It just I believe it does it pretty automatically, and I got at least half of it recorded for whatever that's worth. Okay, Carl says you did good, Martin. I appreciate that. Big Al says very casual, got lots of good sites that rank #1. Awesome, Martin. Absolutely agree. Do you link between all the inner pages where it makes sense? Yes, Mike, that's correct. Yeah, you got a great lesson on that today. All right, great. All right, well, I'll keep checking this Skype window. I've got a jet. Jack M, thanks for your time, Martin. I agree. That's wonderful. Carl and Steven are typing something. I'll make sure to see what you guys wind up typing before I head out. And I just want to thank everybody. Jolene says both of you, Greg and David, are genuine and agreed. Oh, that's wonderful. I have lots of newbie questions. What's the best way to get them answered? David said. David, we hold these webinars all the time. Currently, you get 3 per week. And so just jump on the webinars. We try, like, this is a very unusual event. I had a particular big content thing that I wanted to post, but questions that you have, you can email Greg or you can email me, and we'll get your questions answered. But really want to thank everybody. Thanks. Mike Lego says thanks again. Josh says congrats again to you, D. Absolutely, right on, D. Way to go. That's wonderful. And Stephen and Jack are typing, so I'll let that end. Okay, I'm going to end the webinar now. I want to thank everybody. D says thanks a lot, Scaff. Absolutely, no, appreciation matters. So thanks everybody, and I will see you in 2 weeks on Saturday for NHB. Thanks so much for so many people showing up.